Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm going to be working in my project life. This is week 3, 2021, and I'm going to end up documenting, or week 3 is going to end up with two 12 by 12 spreads because a lot happened in week 3 and I had a lot to say. So I'm going to be doing two layouts for week 3. Now I'm using a mishmash of Studio Calico and the Paper Person Shop kits. Love the Paper Person Shop's kits because you can document politics and you can document the pandemic. So I'm just kind of using whatever works for what I'm documenting. And once I choose my cards, I'm going to set my spread aside and start working on my title card. Now, my title card did end up being from Studio Calico, and it's a very beautiful pattern, but it's very, very busy. So I'm going to try to figure out how to add my week 3 to this very busy pattern. And I thought the best way to do this was to use some white cardstock, stamp week 3, and then add that to my 4x6 card. That way you can still see my stamped week 3 and it mutes down the busyness of this beautiful card. Now I am using the Paper Person's new alpha stamp and number stamp. I forgot the name of these stamp sets, but as always, I will be linking everything down in the description box for you. Now, when I stamped out week 3, there was some space on the right side of this cardstock, and it was very blah. So I will end up coming back to this title card. At the moment when I was working on it, I didn't know what I wanted to put there. But while I was working on my spread, I do decide on a little ephemera from the Paper Person, and I'll fill up that space and it will look really, really nice because I'll match it to my spread. Now in week 3, my parents got their first shot. They got vaccinated. We were really excited. And my brother took them to get their first shots. So he sent me these photos and I really wanted to document it. I created a collage, added some journaling, and I'm using the Paper Person Shop stickers here. I think it just had "let's all take care of each other," and I'm going to use that. It matched really well with that Biden 46 card. So I'm just going to add that right above my journaling and call it done. This next photo is just of my daughter, Stitch, and I taking him for a walk in the neighborhood. And I really love that negative space, so I'm going to use it to stamp. I use the Paper Person's Big Sur Alpha stamps to stamp walk. And I'm also going to use the Paper Person's stamp set. It's like a stamp set full of sentiments and words and things that you can use to document the pandemic. And one of them had "around my neighborhood," which was perfect. So I'm going to actually use that to stamp right underneath walk. And to bring in some color, I will grab the sticker sheet that I used for my parents' collage to add a sticker next to my stamped walk. I just felt like I could bring in some color that way, and it was a little mask and it said "wear a mask," so I'm just going to use that and add that to my photo. Okay, let's move on to my inauguration photos. What I want to do is use both these cards, the Biden 46 and the January 20th card. If I don't use it now, I will never use it. So I have to use them now. I decided to create a flip pocket. I also want to use the stickers because, again, if I don't use them now, I never will. So I am going to go ahead, add my journaling, which was really easy because obviously there's prompts on there that helps you journal. And I'm going to create a flip pocket just using some white paper to stick the two cards together. And all I need now is something to back up my 3x4 card for my flip pocket. I'm gonna grab some 3x4s, go through those, and I found a card from Studio Calico and it had these little white houses. And I felt, you know what, we were stuck at home. Everybody was stuck at home for the inauguration. So it made sense in my head, and it was a good background for my two stickers. So I go for it. I'm going to back up my flip pocket with it, then grab those two stickers of the president and vice president, add them to my flip pocket. I even end up adding a puffy heart and I call it done. I also did take a picture of us watching the inauguration, so I wanted to document that. I'm going to end up just using a puffy sticker underneath my TV set just to kind of document it, and I didn't want to cover anything up. So I went with that, and now I can go back to my title card and add a little something to my week 3. I went through this little pack of die cuts from the paper person. It matched my cards perfectly. So I'm going to use the ticket. Now the ticket was a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim off some of it. I will use the trimmed off portion on the opposite side, and it actually makes it look like a longer ticket. It just worked out perfectly. I like how that looks. I'll grab my stapler and staple it down and call the first spread done, and we can move on to my second spread. Now for the second spread, it's focused more on my birthday. My birthday falls in that week, so I did a 6x8 photo. I do have a tutorial on how you can print 6x8s with your selfie printer if you're interested. I'll try to remember to link that up at the eye for you. But also, they're just photos of how I spent my birthday, and my birthday was a very COVID birthday, you guys, so there was not a lot to document. I'm using this beautiful kit from Studio Calico, and the colors matched perfectly with my sweater. So it took me a while to decide which cards I'm going to use, but I end up using the Jot It Down and that beautiful like rainbow card that says all you need is love and chocolate. Now for this pocket, I'm going to stick down the 2 3x4s because I have a 3x4 photo and a 3x4 card that go into a 4x6 pocket. So I ended up just using my washi tape to stick them together, and I'll even grab my stapler and staple them together as well. This layout is pretty busy to me, so I really don't want to add much. Basically, I'm just gonna call these 2 done, and I think the colors from that card are plenty and they don't need much. I will trim down my 4x6 photo to 2 3x4s, because they're going into 2 3x4 pockets. And I went through my die cut packs because I remembered that I have like birthday die cuts from Feed Your Craft. Now, none of them worked, like they just didn't match. And I've used a lot of that pack, so I don't have a lot left. But while I was putting things back, I noticed I had this one from Feed Your Craft and it said Bloom and Grow. I felt, you know what, this just works perfectly. I might end up using that. So I put them aside and move on to this 4x6 photo I had added some journaling to. Now this is just a collage of my Reading with Heba Zoom discussion over our January book club. And I used my Reading with Heba little sticker in the center. And I'm using this stamp set from an old Kelly Perky stamp. It's like a big block and it says, I think it said love lives here or something like that. I can't remember, but I felt like it fit perfectly next to my journaling. So I go for it. I love this stamp. I don't know why I don't use it enough, but I'm going to trim it out and then I'm going to stick it right next to my journaling and call that photo done. Now I'm going back to my birthday photo. I snap a photo of myself every birthday. I think it's a lot of fun. It's great to look back and see how you've changed. And I do it also for Instagram because I always announce that it's my birthday. I think you should always be proud of your age. I'm going to use these large number stamps from the Paper Person shop, and I'm going to stamp 44. And then I'm going to use that little die cut that said Bloom and Grow. I'm going to end up adding it to the top portion of my photo and the bottom portion. And it looks really, really good. I'm so happy I went with this because the white really mutes down the color of my sweater and it just fit nicely. I'm almost done with my spread. I'm just going to end up adding a few puffy hearts to that 4x6 photo of the kids, Stitch and I, in the car. And I'm going to end up journaling on my cards afterwards, and you'll get to see that in my photos at the end of this video. That's about it, you guys. I am done with 2 spreads for week 3. Don't forget, I will be linking everything I use down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.